While WWDC primarily focuses on software such as iOS and macOS, this year we got an exciting new announcement: the new M2 silicon chip and some hardware to go alongside it, the newly redesigned MacBook Air and M2 13-inch MacBook Pro for 2022. In this video, we'll go over everything you need to know about the game-changing M2 processor and the latest MacBooks added to the Mac lineup. Apple made headlines with their M1 chip back in 2020, which combined ridiculous performance with insane power efficiency. It's incredibly fast, yet also ensures that your laptop's battery won't die halfway throughout the workday. And since then, we've got different iterations of the chip that are even more powerful: the M1 Pro, the M1 Max, and recently the M1 Ultra. But Apple's ready to move beyond the M1. In general, the M1 chips offer vastly different performance capabilities, but all of them use a common microprocessor architecture, also known as the 5nm production process. In case you didn't know, the 5nm process is what you would call the new and improved generation of silicon semiconductor chips in terms of increased transistor density, increased speed, and reduced power consumption. With M2, it uses a new production process, which Apple is referring to as second generation 5nm technology. The new M2 uses Apple's custom ARM silicon, and it's built on a 5nm process complete with 20 billion transistors, 25% more than the original M1. All of these transistors should have a positive impact on performance, which means that Apple is promising an 18% faster CPU and a 35% faster GPU inside the M2 in comparison to the original M1. There are now up to 10 cores in the GPU, 2 more than the original M1. Memory-wise, which is something that users always consider, M2 has both more memory bandwidth and a higher memory ceiling with 100 GB of memory bandwidth and 24 GB of LPDDR5 unified memory. That's 50% more bandwidth than M1. This promises fewer hangs and crashes to faster app loading times. If you're still on the fence between getting a Mac or PC, then here's a solid offer from Apple with this new processor that'll have you thinking, the latest chip is apparently 1.9 times faster than the latest 10-core PC laptop chip. Apple is also using 4 high-performance cores with 4 efficiency cores on the M2, with a shared cache of 16 on the performance cores and a shared 4 MB cache on the efficiency cores. M2 can be a treat for gamers and creative professionals since Apple claims that it brings 25% higher graphic performance than the M1 at the same power level and up to 35% better performance at its maximum power. It also features a next-generation secure enclave and neural engine, and an updated media engine that supports 8K H.264 and HEVC video. This means that systems that run M2 chips will be able to play multiple streams of 4K and 8K video simultaneously. M2 sounds promising, and hearing all these amazing specs must have you hyped by now. But the best part is that along with the processor, Apple has also introduced 2 latest MacBooks that will get the M2 chip: the newly redesigned MacBook Air and their 13-inch MacBook Pro. The headliner of the keynote is the new M2-based MacBook Air, which has received several physical and feature upgrades over the 2020 M1-based MacBook Air. For the first time in ages, the MacBook Air has been redesigned to resemble the 14-inch MacBook Pro, with a more squared-off look than the traditional wedge shape. The display is bumped from the traditional 13 inches to 13.6 inches with smaller bezels surrounding it. Despite its already compact frame, the M2 Air has been trimmed down even further to 11mm and comes in at 2.7 pounds. It features MagSafe charging, 2 Thunderbolt ports, and a headphone jack, and will be available in 4 color options: Silver, Starlight, the classic Space Gray, and Midnight. According to Apple, it has 500 nits of peak brightness. The design is silent and fanless, making it more impressive given the performance boost that Apple is claiming to squeeze from the M2. Since the 2022 MacBook Air boasts an M2 chip, it's said to be 20% faster than the MacBook Air with the M1 chip. With the improved GPU in the M2 and the concentration of performance per watt, Apple claims to deliver the same battery life and better performance. Also, a standout spec is that the 2022 Air is available with up to 24 gigs of this unified memory. an unusual capacity tied to Apple's unique memory and processor structure. In terms of small yet important specs, the latest MacBook Air getting a 1080p FaceTime HD webcam, as well as new mics and speakers that support Dolby Atmos. Apple is also offering a new power adapter that supports fast charging by utilizing two USB-C ports, allowing it to quickly charge to 80% in just 20 minutes. This new MacBook Air will be available in July, starting at $1,199. The M1 MacBook Air will continue to be available for $999. Another big reveal at the event is Apple is also bringing the M2 chip to the 13-inch MacBook Pro. This lies at the higher end of the spectrum and includes up to 20 hours of battery time, alongside an 8-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and maxes out at 24 GB of memory and 2 TB of SSD storage. Apple claims it's 3 times faster than the non-Apple Silicon high-end pro-grade laptop computers, and even ProRes video conversions can run nearly 3 times faster as well. The most exciting upgrade? The max 24 gigs of unified memory. That's 50% more than in the previous generation laptops. With memory being the most important thing to speed up computers in general, being able to max out with more memory is going to make a big difference for power users. Starting at $1,299, the new MacBook Pro M2 is the most affordable performance laptop from Apple. Stay tuned to our channel as we do a deep dive on who these products are for and whether or not they're worth the upgrade. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all our latest reviews, tips, and tricks. What are your thoughts on M2 and the redesigned MacBook Air? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.